Last night I heard the screaming, loud voices behind the wall. Another sleepless night for me, it won't do no good to call the police. Always come late if they come at all. Last night I heard the screaming, loud voices behind the wall.
I am honored, once again, to be part of tonight's White Ribbon Night, and of course hosted by Love Life Now Foundation.
My job with Jane Doe Inc. is to engage men and boys in a positive celebration about healthy masculinity, and how healthy masculinity in our lives as men standing up strong can contribute to a solution of the problem of sexual and domestic violence. How do we raise perpetrators? We don't see a child and say, we're going to raise you to be a perpetrator. Whoever would think of that? The rarest person would. But somehow it happens. So we need to think about this. We have a rubric we call going upstream. Maybe you've thought about this idea of a picture of a river and a child drowning. You dash out and save that child. You turn around and another child is floating downstream. You have to rescue that child. And another one comes downstream, another one. You think, what's going on? You move upstream and help them get out of the river sooner. Rescue them, provide support, provide life preservers, provide boats. Then you think, well, what's even further upstream? Why are they being thrown in the river to begin with? That's the work of primary prevention, meaning how do you go all the way upstream and figure out the source of the problem? We don't know the source. We have a lot of ideas about the source, but we don't know the source. We need you to help us think about what this is all about.
The Fallacies, which is an organization based in Montague, Massachusetts. They provide leadership, development, health education, and violence prevention for men via innovative educational theater.
Just like me doing this work, it hurts every single day. When Jamal just made one in 3, I got 3 girls. I'm like, ugh, it hurts all the time. I got a son. I hope he has courage enough when his friends are making sexist jokes. When he's doing his thing and see some type of behavior that his friends are doing, that he has courage enough to say, you know what, that's not acceptable. And that's what we want to talk about. Being your brother's keeper. We just talked about it on our table. Being responsible for one another.
I'd also like to thank each and every one of you who, in this room right now, who woke up this morning and decided that domestic violence is an ugly stain on our community, and decided today was the day to do something about it. Obviously, my name is Chad O'Cole. I've been blessed with the gift of acting. I've been blessed with the gift of negotiating with Mike. And I tell everybody that will listen that God made me an actor. And so I believe to whom much is given, much is required. So that's why I'm here. I'm also here, again, because of Lovern's light, her inspiration, and to support and be a part of the White Ribbon campaign. Very, very necessary. We all are in agreement on that.
What you all see, what you experience on a daily basis, a weekly, monthly basis. All I can do is try to bring some attention to this issue so that it doesn't go away. I think the truth is the best way to handle this. People have to know what's going on, and that's my job. Your job is even more important because you're taking care of these people. You're giving them some hope when they may not have hope. The woman that I can't do the story on, not yet anyway, she was isolated in 2 apartments in the United States of America and couldn't reach out for help because she was fearful for her husband. She said, I didn't think anybody would understand if I told them what was going on. is an intelligent woman. She came here on a student visa to study at Harvard University. She's not a fool. And she was older, she was in her 30s, so I'm going against every single stereotype you can imagine. And it still happened to her. I have a daughter, just like Jamal's daughter, same age. I worry about this. You know, I can't protect my girl forever. I worry about my son. I hope that I raise him well. He's in college in North Carolina. He's having the time of his life. And honestly, I don't worry about him. I know he knows how to treat women well. But there's always the, you know, I hope I did my job. That's what we have to strive for, to try to do our job. We're imperfect, but we do it anyway, and we try. And thank you so much for this award, because this is my little way. You are the ones that deserve this award, not me. But I do appreciate it, and I want to let you know that it means the world to me. Thank you.
Tonight, we are sheltering 60 women and children. 35 of those individuals are children under the age of 6. It's tough work. Our families are coming. I've been doing this work long enough now that unfortunately I'm now seeing the children come back as adults. And we stop and think about, did we miss something? We're seeing folks come through the door who are in such dire need of everything. They have a laundry list of 10 things that they need to deal with that are all immediate and important to them. We're seeing, again, folks that are coming in who are younger. We also have what we call a teen parenting program, where we're sheltering pregnant and parenting teens, aged 13 to 21, and we are full, and we have a waiting list. And so those young women are coming in, and they're dealing with family violence, they're dealing with community violence, they may be dealing with gang violence, and they're dealing with intimate partner violence as well. And so they're just coming in and facing such a multitude of issues that are going on. Some days it's just, where do we start? We have to prioritize what we can do.
We can't do this without you, okay? And that's just it. We just can't do it without you. Without you coming out to these events and then taking back what you hear tonight and back to your homes, your peers, your community, this just isn't possible. What we're about is awareness. And awareness means getting other people to be more eye-opening. And so because you're here, you're part of the solution, once again, just being here. So I want to thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Statewide White Ribbon Day, as Craig mentioned earlier, is March 7th, which is very close. So many thanks again to them for their hard work on this engaging campaign. Please use the days ahead to sign up and become a White Ribbon Day ambassador, which you can find ways on their website, janedoe.org, JANEDOE.org. You can also get the link from our Facebook page or on our website, lovelikeNow.org. With that in mind, the message conveyed here tonight is what we need more of. More men to speak up against violence against women as a whole. We ask that you can continue to challenge masculinity in that respect and urge your peers to stand up with you.
As men, we have a role and responsibility in ending men's violence against women.
Be part of the solution. Take the Massachusetts White Ribbon Day pledge.
Wear the white ribbon. Find out more at janedoe.org/White Ribbon Day.
Everyone at home, we're here at the White Ribbon Night Gala here, and we are with Mr. Chad Coleman, actor of The Wire and Popular, episode of The Walking Dead, all the way from LA, and he joins us for awareness of this amazing and, of course, epidemic issue that we face every day against women and men of same-sex violence. Chad, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. It's great to be out here and be a part of something that's so profound and necessary, and it's just great to be of service. I believe to whom much is given, much is required.
And you know, as we sat in the audience and we listened to you share a very personal story with your firsthand of abuse from your father. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, absolutely. I mean, it was horrific. My grandmother always spoke of it, and it just gave me a very sick feeling in my stomach. What happened between my father and my mother, you know, the violence that he perpetrated on her, and it was always unfortunate for me that he was never willing to admit it, you know. But as I said in the speech before, there's a lot of toxic shame around it, and a lot of men are swallowed up in a false pride because they really can't face that level of vulnerability and that part of themselves. But that's part of the reason why I'm here tonight, because I want men to just come from behind that veil and be open and transparent about it in order to heal, you know. And I believe that the women in our community, if we step forward and say, you know, forgive me, Father, I've sinned, and you want to do better, I know that women like Lovern, who run the foundation, I know that she'll help us walk through it.
Absolutely. Women, we do endure a lot, and we really appreciate all your work, and I think it's amazing that you're not here for your celebrity, but you're just here for your personal experience and looking to make waves among this situation that is an epidemic. Thank you again.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed.
Well, you can always count on Mr. Jamal Crawford of the Blackstonian in Boston to always stand up for a cause, for his community, for those issues that are troubling our community, and most importantly, coming from a man who is not afraid to stand up against the opposition. Jamal, how are you?
Very well. It's a pleasure to be here. Lovely to see the 617 team out here, you know.
Absolutely. You know, this is twice in 1 week. Earlier, we did the film. The screening of The House I Live In. Another epidemic among our community. But it's good seeing you twice in 1 week for a good cause.
Yes, indeed. And you know, this is what we do, you know, consistently and constantly. And it's important for people to know too that these causes that we deal with, you know, we're dealing with a multitude of issues. So yes, it's important for us to be there on mass incarceration. It's important for us to be there on domestic violence, hunger, homelessness, violence, so on and so forth. So, you know, tonight is an excellent example of the efforts that are going around to raise awareness, particularly for men, about domestic violence. Because oftentimes it's seen as a woman's issue, but obviously these women ain't beating themselves up.
No.
Right? So it becomes a thing where it becomes incumbent upon the men in our community to really take part in something like this. And this White Ribbon night and the day that comes with it in terms of the day that is set apart, that's going to happen at the State House. But efforts like this and the whole White Ribbon campaign just to raise awareness is critically important.
It's definitely amazing, and I think what's frightening is that 1 in 3 women will definitely be a victim of violence, abuse. That's scary. And just like you said, you have a 16-year-old daughter. I'm not a mom. I hope to be a mom one day, but just to be a mom one day and possibly know that my daughter may be that 1 in 3 statistic, it's scary.
Yeah, it's crazy. And as I said last year in my testimony when I got up and spoke at this same event last year, the thing too is, like, besides the 1 in 3, some communities you get, it even goes up. So that in my life, when I've been blessed to know a lot of phenomenal women, all walks of life, from different cultures and whatnot, and I haven't met one woman in my life who has not experienced some level of abuse, whether it is violence, whether it is sexual or what have you. But I have, in my own life, 42-year-old black man in America, I have not met one woman in my life who has not in some way experienced that.
Well, Jamal, thank you so much for always being there, the voice, the leader in our community. And, you know, we hope maybe 40 years from now, this won't be an issue. But as long as we know you're alive and you're standing against opposition, we know our community is heading the right way.
Give thanks.
What's prevention without a preventionist? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with Antonio Andrel, board member of Love Life Now and preventionist with BU, has a health and
education.
Health and education.
Yeah.
You know, tonight, as I watched the film that you presented,
I had the man talking in perspective as he was the woman that he abused. Okay, I forced him to take a look at what the woman that he was with was going through, which was Daniela. So to speak as her. So it wasn't like a gender relationship. He was talking about his girlfriend that was with him, but as her. Like,
I see.
That's what it is. I force people to go through that emotion, to go through that feeling. Then it's like, okay, here's what I'm doing. Really? Take a look at yourself.
Well, thank you very much for all your good work.
Thank you.
And we definitely look out for you in the future. And yeah, I mean, I think this city is a better place with you.
Thank you.
In it. You know, oftentimes we're compelled to really get involved with a cause that's near and dear to our hearts. And we're here with Sam Fisher, and he's one of those people. And, you know, also a board member of Love Life Now. I have Sam Fisher here. So tell me a little bit how you got involved with it, with the cause.
Well, years ago when I first started working, I was in the property management business, and through an odd turn of events, a building that I had been involved in the management for was converted to a domestic violence crisis shelter. Sort of overnight, the transition happened very quickly, and I would see the women arriving at the shelter in the middle of the night with all their belongings, you know, sometimes with their children, and you know, I thought to myself that no one should have to live this way in a civilized society.
Okay, the belle of the ball, Miss Lovern, president of Love Life Now. You know, this is my first time attending. Heck told me about the event, and you know, almost didn't make it, but I made every effort to make it, and I'm so happy that I made it.
I'm happy you made it.
I was telling Sam, as a teenager, I had a friend who was severely abused. I mean, we were in the 9th, 10th grade. I knew it was wrong, but now when I'm thinking back, like the severity of it was insane. Like abuse, like I mean, what, we were 15, 16 years old being abused.
And that's what I think people don't understand, is that it spawns across the board. It's not just one age graphic. It's not just one race. It's not just one type of people. It's everybody. I mean, you could be standing up talking to your neighbor and not know that they just came from a domestic violence situation right in their own home. But they won't talk about it because it's looked upon as a shameful thing. And we at Love Life Now, that's what we seek to change. That attitude that you're looked down upon because you've been hit by somebody or put down by somebody. You need to come out and step out and speak up, right? Because silence hides violence. And the more we stay silent, the more it's going to continue. So events like this that we had tonight at the White Ribbon Night Gala just stands for so much, not just for me, but for the people that are going through it. And you heard about it talk tonight. You heard Deborah Collins Gooseby, the executive director of Gala, talk about how many residents that they're faced with that they have no beds for. Massachusetts has a shortage of beds that you can't, I mean, people are calling, looking for shelter and trying to flee, but they have nowhere to go.
They have nowhere to go.
So these services that they provide is so needed. And I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it because, you know, I think about my mom who was abused at the hands of my father when we were growing up, and that's something that we saw day in and day out. I came from a rough area in Trinidad, and I'm probably going to cry talking about it, but this is what I do to.
Yeah, and you know, and it's amazing because you're using your story to propel a message.
Exactly.
And I think you know, and my parents are from Haiti, and I think it's a cultural thing where culturally, you know, if you're being abused by the man, it's accepted. Everybody kind of looks away, and it's taboo.
It's taboo,
but it shouldn't be.
And
taboo.
it shouldn't be. And
it shouldn't be taboo.
That's what we need to change.
Yeah, and it's amazing. Just you know, the thinking back then, they didn't have the education, but we have the education
or the resources,
exactly,
which is what we want to try to do, is kind of let people know this is what Love Life Now does. We are not a shelter. We do not have psychologists on hand. We don't have professionals in the industry, but each of us have had some sort of run-in with domestic violence, whether it be direct or indirect. And we want to get people out and about talking. We want to connect the shelters with the communities that they serve, because too often you hear, you know, you don't hear about a shelter till somebody has, you know, been severely abused and ends up at one. We want people to know about them before,
absolutely,
right? So that they can make the decisive choice to either remove themselves safely by talking to an advocate when they call up Casa Myrna's hotline, SafeLink, 1-800-799-SAFE, which is the hotline for Massachusetts. And, you know, have people know that there are resources like that on hand before it gets to the point where either they end up tragically dead or severely beaten or traumatized for the rest of their life. Give them the choice. It's easy for us on the outside looking in to say, leave.
I'm very thankful and grateful for Love Life Now. And, you know, I almost didn't make it tonight, but I'm so happy because now I have a different outlook on it.
Yes.
And I feel like I do want to continue to share it. Like,
absolutely.
You know, just standing against domestic violence.
Absolutely. Okay. And so the White Ribbon campaign, again, is all about men, which is the uniqueness of it. Men standing up behind this cause and letting women know, hey, we're here for you. We need more men in this movement. And so by, you know, the men showing up tonight, it's huge. It speaks volumes that they're willing to speak up. Bob Ward of Fox News, you know, Antonio Arundel of the Sexual Assault Response Unit at BU, Chad Coleman from The Walking Dead, who you guys heard from earlier. I mean, it just, it resonates with everyone. Craig of Jane Doe, they put on this event every year, this campaign, and which is what I mirror the White Ribbon Night Gala after, is the White Ribbon Day campaign, which is nationwide and has been here in Massachusetts since 2008. So I just want to continue to encourage people. This is just one of our events that we have. We have the Heal-a-thon coming up in June, where you put on your favorite pair of heels and walk in support of awareness. These are the things.
Amazing.
June 9th. I mean, these are the things we want people to come out and not singled out. Yeah.
Well, you know what? Your work is duly noted.
Thank you,
Trust
my dear.
me. And this was amazing. Amazing night, a beautiful night for an event like this. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you.
So if you are compelled by this issue, this epidemic that we face, it's not a one-person issue. It is a community issue. Easily, you can tell someone to leave a situation, but they need the right resources and they need professional help. For more information, visit lovelifenow.org. And we are here, J.Simone, 617 Live TV.